And we're live. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Are we all here? We're all here. We're all good.
I think
I
we're
think
here.
we're
We're coming
live.
through. Yes, we're on camera. Looking good.
Beautiful. Yay. Cool. Great. The promo video worked. Beautiful intro.
Right? Very
I know.
swish.
I know. Very, very swish. Wonderful music. Stolen from Till Death Do Us Heart.
I think we paid for it,
Thanks
so
to...
we're okay.
True. Yeah.
Rope.
Oh, audio is echoing. That's not good. Let me quickly sanity check what's causing that. How did we get an audio echo? Is it my audio? No echoing here.
Maybe it's just Special Rift. Special Rift 47.
Oh, you know what it might be?
4060.
It might be if you've got the crowdfunding campaign open at the same time as you've got
Yes.
Twitch open,
Yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
Because I'm not seeing any echoing on my side. But this is Twitch. Scuff is part and parcel of the experience. So we're going to carry on and hope that Spatial Rift is just hearing some kind of echoed spatial distortion, etc. But yes, hello, welcome one and all, everybody, to the live stream for the launch party for Ways and Means, the next crowdfunding
They want us
campaign.
to do launch parties now. Like writing books isn't busy enough.
Yeah. As if like making the book, selling the book, etc. is not enough. They expect us to shove our mugs up on camera for like an hour
with all
or
the
so.
ideas for the book. We should have got Taylor on here. She would have eaten this up.
Oh my god, yeah. Hey, look, it's been hard enough organizing all this just to get the two of us on screen. Like, give me a break here.
So we've got to presume everyone here knows what Ways and Means is.
We can at least hope. But do you want to give us a quick rundown of what the script is?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah.
Give us it. Well, actually, you know what? Let's introduce ourselves first.
Nah.
Who are we?
Okay. Yeah. This is Elaine Lithgow, producer extraordinaire. We stole her from Cubicle 7, and poached, kidnapped. She works for us now, and it's great. She runs Spire and Heart. She's incredibly tall, and very stylish, and an incredible producer. Now, who am I?
Great. I like this concept that we have to introduce each other. This is Grant Howitt, designer extraordinaire, co-founder of Deckard, one of the original writers and creators of Heart and Spire, etc. And designer at large, man of many games. Yeah, I think so.
Where am I?
All those one-page games, right? They're everywhere.
Is that not designer at small?
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, we can leave chat to argue over it. So that's who we are. Yes, what is Ways and Means, Grant? Tell us a little bit about it.
So Ways and Means is a source book which we've been working on for a scant, I'm gonna say, 4.5 years. I'd already written a section of it before Elaine worked for us, but after we handled Dagger in the Heart, we knew that Heart was very popular. We couldn't print it fast enough, especially after Quinn's lovingly endorsed it on his show, which seems to be just a way to sell all of your books. No matter what book he mentions on there, it sells out. So I'm very glad and thankful that Quinn's blessed us with a benediction.
Yeah, the Quinn-pocalypse is real. If you want to see all of your international stock vanish overnight, Quinn's does a favorable review of your stuff, and then you spend a year with folk in the company leaning over and saying, Elaine, we need to reprint Heart again. We need to reprint Dagger.
But we did Dagger, and then we realized that maybe we should do another source book for our most popular line. So with trademark alacrity, we've sprung into action a scant 5 years afterwards, and we're going to do our first bits and pieces source book for Heart. Ways and Means is it was originally intended as quite a, we wanted it to be like House of Leaves, like broadly impossible to manage, broadly impossible to understand, and very avant-garde, and that would, we would have had to thread that needle so well to do it properly. So instead, what we've done is a very accessible source book, although half of it's printed upside down.
Intentionally, I fully am waiting for the first person to crack open a copy and like, why is all the GM content upside down?
My GM's not upside down. Why is this book? Yeah. We're doing the GM half upside down on the back and the player half the right way around on the front, meaning that we'll have no back matter on the book.
Maybe we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I like the idea that it means the GM can hand a player at the table a book, and you can tell when they're cheating because you're like, flip that background. No, that's my stuff. You're not allowed to read that.
I love the idea of being able to cheat at heart.
I know. Right?
You gonna die faster than the other guy?
Yeah, speedrun, any percent heart zenith. But yeah, so today on the stream, we've got a handful of things we're going to chat about. We're going to broadly break this down into before and after the launch, which happens in like 17 minutes. Is when the campaign page actually goes live. So you have to hear us like vape for 15 minutes first. We're going to show off some pretty pictures. We're going to talk about behind the scenes stuff. We're going to talk about cool rewards for the campaign. We're going to look at some of the stretch goals that are coming up. We're going to enjoy watching the numbers go up, which is always the best part of pushing the make money happen button on a crowdfunding campaign. And if folk have any questions in the chat about Heart in general, about ways and means, about the campaign, or just whatever weird questions your parasocial brain decides that wants to vomit up into like a chat, let us know, and we will do our best to respond in kind.
Let me try and keep it about role-playing games.
Yeah.
Rather than whatever Paris. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So,
what's your true size?
I tried that curiouscat.me thing for a while, and it never it didn't break good. I'm brew. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, my hydration of the stream is a classic tin for all the Scots out there. We have to. There's two approved liquids to go inside a Scotswoman: council juice, aka tap water, and iron brew. Council juice. It's great.
What's
it called? Council juice.
Diluting juice.
Diluting juice. Aye.
Diluting juice. Squash. No,
it's diluting juice.
It's juice for diluting.
So that's everything we're going to go through today. Like I say, we've got about 15 minutes now. So do we want to kick off? We're going to move over to our wonderful presenting screen.
Oh, shit.
That's right. We got transitions over here. I got screens. I see Sarah is in the chat. Sarah can be nice and embarrassed as we show a lot of their art on screen today. Yeah. But first things first, I figured it would be nice if we spoke a little bit about the team. Hey, here's all the faces of the people who are making ways and means, and we can chat a wee bit about everybody. I think the easy quadrant of this is like obviously our RRD folk, right?
We've already introduced half of us.
Yeah.
There's Chris, who is too tall to appear on camera. He simply doesn't. There are no pictures of him online. He is very hard to get footage of, especially live. But Chris is my co-author on a lot of things, and the co-author of Heart, the initial book. And so he and I have returned primarily to do some classes. Then we have
and some callings.
We have Mina Mujanda. I nearly said designer tricks extraordinaire, but I didn't. I caught myself, so that's good. Mina does layout for us, and she's very good at it. And she laid out Heart, and then relaid out Heart again under Elaine, and then there's Elaine, who we already mentioned. So now you do the difficult bit.
Cool. Sure. So we've got two illustrators on the project this time. A lot of you will be familiar with Felix, who did a lot of the original, I think all the illustrations for Core Heart. And we brought Felix back to do the illustrations for the new classes so that they really like fit in that sort of lineup of all the weird and wonderful classes that we've got in Heart. So Felix was really hyped to come back for those. And then people who are here for Dagger in the Heart, will know Sarah, who did all the illustrations for that, which was obviously a very weird challenge, I think, for Sarah. Sarah's in the chat. Sarah can tell us. But I think an interesting challenge to try and depict even more of the world of Heart, which in its nature is non-canonical and strange.
So I found Sarah on Twitter actually ages and ages ago, on their profile. I think 6 Knives is their profile, and they did daily comics. Like there's one day a year. It's not daily, hourly comics. There's one day a year where you do like hourly drawings of everything you've done during the day. And at one point, Sarah had clearly run out of things to talk about, and so at 8 p.m. they turned into an eel. And then for the rest of the cartoon, it's just them as an eel, writhing around and watching Great British Bake Off. And there was something about immediately, like it was something about panicking and turning themselves into an eel. I was like, well, we should get them to draw for us. That seems bang on for me, and I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy with the call. Their attention to detail is astonishing, and they haven't turned into an eel once.
Not yet. I mean, we haven't seen them, so we can't confirm that they haven't turned into an eel momentarily. But yes, so that's what we've got illustrating, and then we've also cast a wide net to catch some of the industry's most talented weirdos, as I call them, to throw a lot of fun, weird, and exciting ideas into the mix. We've got Finley, who, like my understanding, hasn't done a huge amount of other bits and pieces.
I was writing the promo post today, and everyone's published something. Or I can give them a nickname and like to talk about what they've done. But Finley hasn't done anything yet, but we really like the way that they write. So in you get. That's like we've done that with a few authors before, especially on like when we're doing group writing on a book. I think it's a great opportunity to find someone who's not had the chance to write something properly. To be published and be like, let's see if we can't freshen up the voice a little bit, so it's not just 2 almost identical 40-year-old men who live in the same town, imagining dying in a basement.
Yeah, like it's fun getting a lot of folk in who like it's such a big fun setting as well in that way. Like
there's lots
it's
of
nice
room
to get.
Maneuver.
Yeah, it's nice to get lots of different POVs on what horror reflected through the Heart equals. I should also say all the folk on the team and everything have extensive section on the campaign page itself once that goes live, because I realize if we sit and go through everyone's accolades on here, we'll probably take up the whole stream.
Wow.
I know.
What a prestigious team you've put together.
They're pretty cracked. We've got Pam, who has done a bunch of stuff on D&D, World of Darkness, Pathfinder, Blades in the Dark, Spire, etc.
I've not written for them. Well,
sorry?
Spire I have. I've not
written for them. Well, you've probably written for
D&D.
I don't know. Is Pam in the chat? I don't know.
No, I hope she's asleep. I think she's in Canada.
Yeah. We've got Taylor, who's Diana Jones Emerging Designer Program winner, and hustler extraordinaire.
Oh, an incredible hustler.
Yeah.
She helped us out with the hiring as well. We were really keen to find some people of color to work with. And we put together. We helped Taylor put together a meet and greet at UKGE, and the energy that she's brought to enlivening the scene, shall we say, and trying to make different people be in it and help different people get together has been really great and really inspiring, and we want to back her up on that. So she helped us put together some other people, and so we've got Taylor, we've got Finley, we've got Pam, and we've got Thomas Manuel. He writes for Rascal, and writes a wonderful newsletter. where he said he doesn't care about classes in role-playing games aside from the deep apiarist from Heart. Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thanks, man.
Yeah, nice.
It was Thomas who came up with the idea of he wrote the ministry section in Sin. We ended up dividing the religion section into a bunch of different authors on Sin. Because we had to rearrange the writers at the last minute, but Thomas wrote the ministry section, and it was tremendous because he came up with the idea of your Magister receiving orders in his liver and having to having to perform surgery to curl paper out of his liver. As that point, it's like, well, Thomas has to work on every spire book we ever do, and Hart too. And then we finally got Eleanor Hingley.
Oh, yeah, long time writers, done a bunch of stuff. Doctor Who, Hollows, Spire, Broken Weave, again, someone who's done a lot of bits and pieces, and is a bit of a regular, from my understanding.
So she's the only. Well, that's not true. She's one of two people I went to university with who's working on this book, which is maybe like some light nepotism. Around the edges, but crucially, Ellie gets the joke for Spire and Heart. Chris and I talk about this in that it needs to be pathetic, it needs to be kind of funny, it needs to be kind of serious, it needs to be kind of sad, it needs to be kind of angry, and Ellie can thread that needle elegantly. Plus, she writes a good sad vampire as well. I kind of want to give her the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, it's a weird. It's definitely a weird tone, I think, to nail. It's hard because you can't just go slapstick.
No,
you can't just go full horror. You can't just go full grimdark. It is like this weird needle to thread.
Yeah, it's like Terry Pratchett, but edgy, but not edgy, but edgy, but not cult edgy, but not safe. But yeah, so we'll get there.
Yeah.
And so the 9 of us, 8 of us, 20 of us, 10 of however many people we've just named have been rushing forward beautifully into this book to make it all come out on time. And here we are. At the crowdfunding, we've got 5 minutes.
I know. Oh my God, we've got 5 minutes already. We were supposed to talk about so much more stuff.
That's fine.
But that's fine. That's fine.
As long as noise comes out of our mouths, that's all it needs.
Yeah, for sure. So where are we? So that is the team. So let us move on then a wee bit on to talking about some of the bits and pieces that are in the book. So by my team, new classes that we've got. So obviously classes are one of like the big selling points, because we've not given much in the way of player options for Heart prior to this, outside of like Burned and Broken that would let you bring ministers down, so that's it. Yeah, so we were going in, we're like, okay, cool, let's do 3 new Heart classes. And I think at first there was a lot of like, oh no, have we done everything?
So Chris and I had this challenge when we were doing the initial draft of Heart, because in Spire we have a load of additional advances, which you can basically like prestige classes or extra things you can have, and they're not enough for a class, and generally they don't have a core ability, but it's something you can slot on. That's where the Deep Apiarist came out of. That's where not the Blood Witch, she was a full class later on. We had like the Grongu who cooks food for a community, or like if you want to be in the army or what have you, then we had these options. And we realized that Heart was kind of done, or at least like the image of it that we had, we didn't need to slot anything else in. So we didn't bother. And so we didn't bother. We tried hard and it didn't work. But now, 5 years on, I like to think we're a little bit wiser, a little bit older, a little bit more in debt, and so we found what it took. We found we 3
dug
classes.
deep.
Yeah, we dug deep down the back of the set. No. Hey, they're good classes. But what we wanted to do was talk about the like the same way that Heart Core takes classes and then reimagines them. It takes traditional things and reimagines them through kind of a body horror lens or a lens of a different culture. So instead of the cleric, you've got the heretic, and from that, we're talking about the way that, like, okay, you can't practice this faith above ground, and people think you're weird. Instead of the wizard, we've got the deep apiarist, and that's talking about the incredible alien nature of some magic. And so we did the same thing. We did bards, we did druids, and we did whatever Elaine did. Factotums.
They started off as like a thief, kind of.
Yes.
You know, and then Felix started drawing some really gribbly stuff, and it evolved from there. I think, like, I remember when we first started working on these, like, the thing you kept saying was take something that exists, think about it for about 6 minutes, poke some holes in it, and then something falls out or it doesn't, I guess.
Like, there's enough tropes, and that's the idea that Kieran Gillen's recipe for originality is idea plus idea equals genius. So if you're just able to combine two ideas which people recognize, yeah, okay, cool. And so, like, the dungeoneer, the crawler, is it crawler your class?
Yeah, the crawler.
The crawler was a thief, and then it became more and more part of the dungeon and part of the idea that you want to, like, you like one of the weapons you've got is a trap, because of course there's traps in a dungeon, and it just happens that the monsters walk into it.
Yeah,
now, you need to push that button soon, don't you?
I think the button should push itself automatically.
Oh, great, cool.
We'll see.
Okay.
I'm currently dual screen monitor with about a billion tabs and windows, so we'll see if the thing I've set up happens. If not, so
and you're hosting.
To continue. And I'm hosting. I know, really, like, channeling my inner spider blood over here. But I think that was when I was thinking about the crawler. It was really digging down into this idea of, like, okay, so the heart wants to give you whatever your deepest desire is, or kill you trying, etc. But what if your deepest desire is a dungeon? If it's the concept of, like, the murder hobo who's in the dungeon because they want to be in the dungeon, and then you end up with this twisted, like, relationship of, like, a couple being like, hey, what do you want for dinner tonight? I don't know, what do you want for dinner tonight? I don't know, what do you know, but you tell me. No, you tell me what you want, you tell me what. So the dungeoneer is sort of going around. They would love loot, they want loot, they're obsessed with the idea of treasure and loot, but they don't know what loot. It's the concept of loot, the concept of a dungeon. So the heart
has to be in a chest.
And it has to be in a chest, yeah, exactly. All this sort of stuff. And there should be traps everywhere. But the heart's like, okay, but what traps do you want? Like, which I think is very it sort of reflects this vibe of, the heart is kind of the GM in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And players want traps, and players want treasure, and they want to be surprised, but also they want the thing they recognize. And that's the sort of, we are live, by the way.
We are live. Let's go.
Yeah, we're up to 500 quid.
Oh wow, that was fast. 7, 8. Money happen.
Get that back a train, folks.
Let's go.
If you wait too long, you won't be able to get on the back of train. Very quickly went to German for a second. I think somebody back from Germany.
Interesting. Lovely, cool. Campaign is live. Let's rock and roll. I think if the campaign is live now, we should probably start talking about some of the stuff we can get. Like, what are the key 3 things we can get from this crowdfunding campaign?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
We'll come back to classes. We'll come back.
You can read the thing we talk about. Yeah.
It's all there. We are doing some in-depth dev blogs on each of these things, so you can see the one for the Witness and the one for the Blightborn are live right now, where we go into how the we have some discussion with, like, Felix about, like, how the characters are made, talking to, like, Chris, Grant, myself, etc., about some of the ideas behind them, looking at some of the abilities. So you can go dive into those if you want more, and if we don't get back to it. But let's chat about what the actual rewards are for this then. So we have the book itself, the big old book, Ways and Means, hardback, beautiful. Cover is done by Sarah, featuring the idea of continuing the iconic heart cover that Felix did. This, like, blue and red dark spiral down into the abyss, and what does that look like once they're deep down in there and lost.
I like how
So
one
a
of them's trying to
very
read a map.
yeah, the futility of trying to read a map. A very tough brief from Sarah, for Sarah, I should say, because it's just like this, but it's like draw the rest of the owl or the rest of the horse, right?
Simply
It's
draw
like
the rest of the heart.
just draw what's at the bottom of the ominous metaphorical staircase. You know, and yeah, but I think the result was fantastic. There was a moment where I kept asking Sarah to add more, and there was like one of the sketches was covered in Hitchkin and everything, and Sarah very very politely and very correctly talked me back because like this is getting too much. This is too busy. So yeah, and so everything that's in the Ways and Means book itself, we've got 3 new classes. We've got 3 new callings.
It turns out you can write callings. I was wrong.
It turns out you can. Yeah.
Thought you couldn't, but we worked it out.
Yeah. We've got the so the new callings are the where are we?
The artist,
the protector. The protector. Yeah. Protector does what it says on the tin. Pick a person or a place, etc.
You probably get you're probably wearing some sort of tin as well.
Yeah.
Or at least,
Yeah. This was also the first piece that was actually done by Sarah, and it was so good because I remember, I feel like when we were chatting about callings, one of the big reasons why Chris said we should do this one was just so we had an excuse to illustrate one of the Vermissian Knight shields, and it's so good.
Yeah, it looks like the sort of shield you have to put coal in, which I like. Don't know what it would do once it goes in, but it seems crucial to operation.
Powers the light, doesn't it?
Yeah. It makes it slightly lighter.
Yeah. So we've got the protector. We've got the demagogue, which is it's my twisted baby, and that's because it's a specific love letter to one of the players who's in my regular games. I highly doubt Dan is listening, but every single game that I run, Dan inevitably ends up being a cult leader or a revolutionary leader or something, and that is their driving goal. And I love this idea of a calling, which is you want to start a movement or a cult or something, and you've been kicked out of Spire. They don't want you to do it up there, so you're down here trying to scrabble together followers to get your weird group together. And worked quite nicely with some of the ideas of hirelings and stuff that we're adding into this. So that's the demagogue, and then we've got the artist. I love this piece. Cannot use it in socials anywhere because the most fun part is that the shadow is the shadow is made by the messed up little thing, and it's too freaking tall for socials. So it works beautifully in the book, but pain in the arse for social, which wants everything to be square. But the artist is your baby.
Artist was great fun to write. I'm just going to quickly look up the things, actually. 1 second. It was, the artist is, I believe the phrase is, a messy bitch that lives for drama.
Nice.
I just wanted to come up with, just calling. Look at that. That's just a link to Horse Around the House. Oh, well. Broadly, I wanted the artist to, it kind of ties into the Witness, which is one of the new classes as well. It's kind of in the same way that like the Heart Song calling ties into the Witch. The artist calls into the Witness very well. So there's an awful lot of like, see something remarkable. And then I learned everything I know about art from watching Moulin Rouge once 15 years ago. So like have torrid affairs and get crazy drunk and meet a fairy in a windmill, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's a slightly less self-destructive adventure if you had to sort of pin it down. It's quite good.
I think it's something that was in the fluff a lot. The concept of like artists going down here, but none of the callings specifically really called out that.
Yeah, I think I put it in quite late as well because like generally what happens is Chris and I will get the mechanics down and then I'm sent away to go and write the fluff to sort of embrace whatever we've done and filter it back in, and it might sort of wash back and forth and there'll be edits come in, but usually we get the classes done and then we do the rest of the book. And I just realized that if you imagine a settlement in Heart, it's horrible. It's like everyone's living basically in a pipe, and there's no shops, There's no telly, and there's no sunlight. And so I was trying to work out why on earth people would hang out down here aside from a cursed obsession and what they do. And so I wanted to make it that art was a thing, that people come down here and do art, and that might be because the heart is inspiring and strange and unusual, and you can't map it, so you have to do something else about it. But also, people make art, and I think there's so little of that in role playing games and in world building in general. If you put 3 people next to each other, 2 of them will make art about one of the others.
Yeah.
And I wanted to, I have that come as a class. Now, admittedly, art is a game about walking around, so don't try and make that sculpture from the drawing.
That's this. Well, all of the calling illustrations are meant to represent your life before going to the heart, admittedly.
What about Protector?
In theory. Okay. You win.
The train died.
And
so everyone's falling behind. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But this one I would say is probably that, or it's in a haven. Maybe you got a bunch of time in a haven and downtime.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. What else?
So Demagogue, Protector. That's all the callings. We've covered callings. Beautiful. What else have we got going on? We have equipment. Oodles of equipment. Wonderful.
I love equipment.
Yeah, love equipment. Love a big book of stuff.
I've actually unrelated to this, but on my desk at the moment, one of my favorite big books of stuff is.
Oh my god!
This is my original copy of Inquisitor. Really, oh man, it is knackered. And I would go through it. This is the page on demon weapons, and so these are all different things your demon weapon can do. Oh, that gorgeous art as well. They really truly a golden era for John Blanche, just jizzing into the corners of books. But
oh no!
Sorry, wrong.
God damn.
One of the
fun fact: Inquisitor was my first role playing game.
Yeah,
you can call it a role playing game.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh shit!
Yeah, it's the first thing I ever GM'd.
Wow.
I wrote rules for motorcycles before I GM'd a game, and I think that probably says enough about me.
Yeah.
But that's full of stuff. And fascinatingly, Inquisitor doesn't have like a points balancing system, or no, like, hey, here's what makes a fair or interesting fight. It leaves up to the GM. But I remember being absolutely captivated by that, and also the Inquisitor's Handbook, which was an add-on for Dark Heresy. I think it's the second thing they released in the line for that, and that always really excited me because I loved the way that they communicated the world through the items. And items are things that players can have and fuck about with, and whether or not it does more damage. If you've got 15 kinds of bolter, you don't need all 15. But if you can come up with some interesting things to say about the bolters, it's this from this world and it indicates this and that sort of thing. So, equipment was the most fun part for me, I think.
Yeah, I think that's always the thing that's cool for me. Especially in a game like Heart doesn't have a huge amount of crunch when it comes to equipment and gear and everything, but just getting all those inspiration, getting to shove so much fun ideas in, and then say, oh yeah, also it does this, I guess. But really what's cool is, the equipment section also includes art movements, art supplies and whatnot. Again, trying to add some of that.
6 different kinds of brush.
Yep.
Sculptor's dynamite. Artist blowtorch.
Yeah.
And
just unhinged nonsense, but it tells you so much about the world. And as like a player, you pick that stuff up and immediately, like, I'm going to care more about the concept of artist's dynamite or sculptor's dynamite than I am about, like, oh, it's a longsword with a billhook on the end or whatever,
Or it's just regular dynamite.
Yeah.
Artist dynamite.
Yeah, sculptor dynamite.
Wow. India ink dynamite. Yeah, I mean, we've got plenty of stuff. We've got a few weapons and like some delve equipment, but primarily it's weird shit I wanted to write about, which is kind of the reason that this company exists. So I'm very glad to have it keep going.
How selfish! How incredibly selfish!
Oh, absolutely, 100%. I'm largely unemployable, so we had to build something around me.
Yeah. Equipment also includes ill-advised drugs, black market spells as well.
Oh, so that's the black market spells. Interestingly enough, those are from Heart, from the first draft of Heart before we released it, we had magic as much more of this sort of a weird thing you'd go and buy or find. I mean, we wanted to have it much more like ritualistic and strange, and like not like the bleeding edge of magic, but more like, oh, you need to put these things together, and there needs to be, you need to have specific named ingredients, rather than Inspire, where it's more faith-based. And then we ended up making it quite close to how Spire works and having them as character abilities. But we were able to bring them back. So if you want to have protection from magic spells, you can get a Witch Heart with I think as many iron nails as you can fit in it. Is the gag.
That's a very porcupine-looking thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and witches hate it, and they cast most of the
magic. Unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we got drugs. We got drugs, which some which are going backwards in time, so you get the hangover before you take them. We've got a gum that blows your fingers off. We've got and some stuff I didn't write. So we've got hirelings and things like that. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, hirelings. So these are again sort of reflecting hardcore has bonds, etc. But bonds are always kind of assumed to be the folk who are hanging out back home or in your haven, or someone you go during your downtime or whatever to offload fallout and stress and everything. It's this kind of like, you know, that sort of vibe. But as with anything, it's only a matter of time before somebody wants to bring along a little guy or a little pet, like a familiar or something like that.
Big Smoky, it was in my game. It was a little mushroom.
Yeah?
Yeah, players adopted Big Smoky. Had to voice him for the rest of the campaign.
I swear players just do it for that. It's literally just because, you're going to really...
Yeah. I think because the GM has so much power. So they want to kind of informally punish the GM by making them dance. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll dance for you, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like all those little characters you make up on the spot are the ones that you normally do the weirdest shit for in terms of an introduction. It's Boblin the Goblin, or, you know, who speaks like a New York delivery person or whatever, you know, and yeah, all this kind of weird stuff. So we've added in new rules for hirelings and animals, like animal companions. They each have their own fallouts, so bad stuff that happens to them specifically, and they also all have their own like sort of ability, and they're not all useful, but they're fun.
My current favorite is the Noble Steed, which is one of Thomas's ones, which is the deal that the heart knows that horses are important to humans or humanoids in this setting, and so it sort of puts out things that it hopes are horse enough, and the horse dreams of being important, but it has like an enormous ragged mouth on its underside and 7 legs, and it's just not there. And the description, so like the minor fallout is the horse, while you're riding it, the horse runs towards rather than away from danger as it should, which I find very funny. And then the major fallout is I'm see if I can remember the exact phrase. Every noble steed is a medical miracle on the verge of not being one. It just basically like explodes within and dies.
Yeah. Oh God. So there's a lot of, again, it's just given so much room to flesh out the setting and the lore and the tone and everything, just with like all these like weird hirelings who have such auspicious titles as like the leg breaker, who's literally just like an enforcer who you get to job along for a while. Mumbler's Cook's pole carrier, which is just a 10-foot pole gag, I believe.
Oh yeah, I really wanted to make that, like, because we had like the Guild of Stairs and the Council of Ladderman in Spire, and I really wanted it to be like a strong cultural idea around having the longest 10-foot pole. So he carries a 13-foot pole. But and not having it collapsible, and you have to bounce it off the roof or like get it through. I love that's a Spire gag that snuck in. So like I think there's quite a lot of Spire that's been tipped into this. So like in that it's in an effort to sort of like, we've taken culture from above ground and then made it weird by putting it underground.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I think we're all just desperate to write jokes about Spire.
Yeah, I think there's a bit as well, like metatextually, I've been looking at Ways and Means as a little bit more narratively forward in time, like there, as if like there's more people going down to the heart. There's more like things like the crawler only exists because the idea of the heart as a dungeon that gives you what you want has bled back up and has then bled down crawlers and things like that. And hirelings, like we've got this gag that there may be mercenary guilds or adventurers guilds, but they're all just cons of some descript, you know.
It's like there's people who sell you, who get you to name a star. Or sell you, or say like a square foot of land so you can be a laird.
Yeah. So I think some of that naturally comes from there's been some time and more bleed through from Spire, like trying to come down and exploit and whatnot. And I think Dagger in the Heart as well was like quite a big inspiration for a lot of that stuff, because Dagger also, like a large part of that, especially like Ptolemy Bay and whatnot, is all about like people trying to exploit the heart. People from Spire coming down to exploit it. It's still, for the most part, like a frontier, Wild West, bleeding edge of reality thing, but more people are trying to figure it out and map it, etc., to their futility and ultimate annihilation.
I really want to do a game called Vermissian Empire. And this is not what we're kickstarting now.
This is this is not really.
This is just the people who are on the stream. I found these. This is upside down. God. I found these in B&M, and technically these are from the Turf Wizard thing, but they're pretty functional, 28mm trains. And what I want to do is have the Vermissian blossom to thousands of times its size, and then have rogue trains going through and have gang fights on trains like Necromunda.
Yeah,
I think that would be great fun. But that's not what we're doing.
That's not what we're doing.
Don't worry. I've worked out how to do train lines. There's a D12.
Yeah.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Take that away to the RRD Discord, #RRD Discord plug, and start, the Discord, plug in the Discord. You can take that nugget away and say, oh my God, Grant said he's going to make a train game.
When?
Why? When?
I keep making train games. I just like how big they are.
Beautiful. So that's Hirelings.
And we've got the other half of the book as well.
Yeah, after that we move on to Hirelings. Straddles the line a little bit because it's kind of GM content, it's kind of player content. After that, though, we go on to Delve Events, which is a big old chunk of the book, and we start to get into this flipped upside down GM section, where Delve Events specifically is taking some of that work that you did for the Echo Edition, or I should say the reprint, the Delve, yes, of Hardcore, where we added a few more pages on essentially how to make delves.
We put the rules in the game that the game needed.
Yeah, we put advice on how to make a delve. You could still do it without it.
And hundreds, thousands of people did. But we never really described. Hey, I regret that. I regret not putting it in. But we wanted to have it as no canon heart, same as which heart it resists canon in a way that even Spire can't match. And so we were really wary of saying like, okay, these two places are connected, because then you start mapping it. But also little bit lazy, but we've sorted it now. We put in 4 pages on how to make delves and some example delves, and then we hired a bunch of writers to do a bunch of delves.
Yeah, because the idea being, you take the domain you're going from, the domain you're going to, and then you pick, like, depending on how long your delve is, you take a handful of events and then merge them together like spreading paint, and that's your delve. You got all your events and all that sort of stuff laid out. So this is a section of the book that just has a crap ton of delves for all of the different domains for GMs to pour over, get inspiration from. They're designed in typical Heart way, which is they show up, they present a problem for your players to overcome, and then say good luck. because heart characters are too goddamn weird to predict how they're going to like approach a situation.
And also, that's I think if you know what the characters are going to do, write a book, write a novel.
Valid.
You know, there's no need. Let's give them half.
Yeah. So yeah, so that's been good fun seeing what everyone can come up with as well. I think like sections in a book like this are where it can be hard to keep up the endurance of creativity, because the instant you say, okay, cool, we need like 20, 30 unique, cool, interesting
30 gags
things.
about desolate.
Yeah, 30 gags about desolate domain. Are you kidding me? Yeah, so that's been good fun. It should hopefully be really good for the GMs. This is also what spawned the Delve deck, which is one of the things that you can get in the campaign. Where are we? I have a nice pretty picture of it. Delve deck, ta-da! Here we go. Which is literally as many of these Delve events as we can get put onto big old shiny tarot cards. And then the deck itself is split up into those domains. So you can do that sort of generating delves on the fly if you're keen, or if you want to sit the night before your game with a cup of coffee and divine out the session's delves. You can do that sort of stuff. I'm a sucker for this kind of stuff. I'm the terrible person responsible for the DIY Heart GM screen, so this is right up my alley.
I'm so glad that you that we let you get away with that. That everyone else let us get away with that.
Yeah,
I feel because it's a terrible plan to try and sell it. Yeah. People hate cutting up their books for some reason.
Yeah,
because they've spent a lot of money on them.
For context, for anyone who doesn't know this one, when we did Dagger, released the Heart GM screen. I actually have a picture of it here. Nope, not that one. That one. There we go. We released the Heart GM screen, and I have a personal vendetta with GM screens because it's one of the few tools which, in my opinion, if it's a standard GM screen, it gets less useful the more you use it, because you slowly learn all the rules that are printed on it, and then you don't use it anymore. So I was like, well, let's just have a blank, really hot illustration on the back with some core ideas. And then we give people booklets of stuff, references, tables, so you can have your core rules, which you can cut up, pin on there. But then when you know the rules and you don't need them anymore, you can just pull them off or replace them with something like NPC names or whatever, sort of build your own weird GM screen. And I thought it was insane, and I'm glad that people let me get away with it.
I love it. We've nearly sold out as well. People like it.
Yeah,
so I'm very happy about it. And so we're doing another book.
It is. That's the third thing that we're doing, is what we've called Deranged Scrollings for now. Because
we might come up with a slightly more acceptable name. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll see. And we've tentatively put volume 1 on it as well, because the idea being, with this is like a test, really, of all the things in the crowdfunding campaign. This is the most like test-like thing, because it's just a wee £10 booklet that has more of these tables, especially covering stuff that's in Ways and Means. So like the core GM screen has stuff obviously for like your Vermissian Knights and all that sort of stuff, like your core classes. But then it's like, okay, well, we're doing Ways and Means, but that means that the GM screen doesn't have tables for this, so we're putting all stuff in there to bring it up to parity.
I really like the idea of having table upgrades. So like it's just a little bit more table you can sellotape to the bottom of the other table.
Yeah, for sure. And then yes, we're also just shoving in even more like fun, flavorful weirdness. Some of these coming from Gar. There was one of my favorite things that I've seen that I really want to get in there.
Gareth Ryder Hanrahan, who we haven't mentioned by name or picture yet on the stream.
Not yet, no, actually, because I think a lot of that stuff will come from potential stretch goals. And
you want a fourth class? You want Gar to write it?
Maybe. Oh my god, you can't say we're doing fourth classes yet. We haven't revealed it. But yes, one of my favorite potential tables for this is a table on why a party member is absent based on their class. So if you're playing a game and the person who's playing your Vermissian Knight can't show up, here's 6 reasons why that character has to leave right now, etc. which is incredibly fun. I love that sort of stuff. Let's say this is the experiment. We'll see if it works out. If you want more of these, make sure to add them on as like an add-on, etc. Give us your money, and then maybe Volume 1 can become one in a series, and we can start doing like
we can maybe push all the way to 3. You know?
Maybe, who knows? And the final thing that's in the book. So we've covered we've got the delve deck. We've got the deranged scrawlings.
Yeah, we took a brief sojourn into the side. We need to go back to the book. Yeah.
Final thing is just where are
bounty
we?
boards.
It is. It's the bounty boards. Don't I have? Oh, I don't have an image for the bounty boards. That's strange. Oh well, bounty boards. I'm just going to pop this one back up. Why not? Okay. They are all one-page sort of adventures or adventure seeds. Something that you can do for like a one-shot or maybe a two-shot. All written by different writers. Again, it's just all in the GM section. It's all trying to like ram as much creativity and inspiration into the GM's heads as possible. You've had a look at some of them. Any standouts?
Yeah. So the one which the one which really resonated with me, I think, is Pam Punzalan's one where you. I think it's about a breakup of some capacity. A lot of her stories seem to be about breakups, which is great because you might as well have an emotional connection to your dungeon crawl. But you go house hunting, and because this is the heart, you go house hunting with like a gun. In the Pam has reintroduced the idea of predatory buildings. Like we have last orders, and that's like a pitcher plant, and the idea is that you go in and you get drunk and you fall in the basement and drown. And Pam has taken that idea and reimagined it as a building which stomps down the fucking street and tries to eat you. And there's something quite funny about that. There's something quite funny about that, about the idea of a little like 2 up, 2 down, and how the fuck do you fight it? Yeah. So I think like so Chris and I would not have written that because we imagine them as like you never see a predatory building move, it just is where it needs to be. And the idea of it bouncing around the street like a fucking dog, great, love it, wonderful, go for it. So there's some quite fun stuff there, and I might do one myself. Who knows? We'll see.
Who knows? Yeah.
Sniffer's room.
Well, we've that's everything. That's everything that's in the book. It's a big old honking book of stuff.
Stuff.
And those are those are the 3 things: the book, Dell deck, Deranged Scrollings expansion, GM screen. The other, I guess, hot ticket item that we've got is the unique create something awful pledge.
Oh yeah.
Which is worth highlighting. Hey, you want to talk a little bit about like the 400 quid?
Yeah, sure. 500?
Like,
400? How much are we charging?
400.
400. Anyway, however much it is. This is, I think it's less popular now. It was certainly more popular back in like 2017 when we started doing this, which was that Kickstarter backers would get to be in a book or get to be in the book that you do. And there's definitely there's an era of art in role-playing games where there's a lot of, I'm going to say, American-looking men in glasses with beards. I shouldn't throw bricks. I shouldn't throw stones, but there are a lot of people who look like gamers in books, and that they didn't quite sit right with us because you want to try and maintain the fantasy. And so what we learned, I think, we in Inspire, there's a few like so Inspire, there's some stuff where you got to write a location or something, you got to work with us to do a location, didn't quite gel, didn't quite hit properly, and so we decided to come at it in a much more focused way. So for example, there's cults in Sin, there's cults in Strata, and Heart had locations, but it was very possible to say that, right, this is a weird one, we're going to put it somewhere weird, and it doesn't have to hang together in the same way. For this, what we're doing is you get to create something horrible. So this will be like a cursed magic item, or a piece of equipment, or like a legendary mimetic play, whatever you fancy. We will work with you to come up with some rules for that. There'll be a few paragraphs of stuff. Sarah will do a drawing of it. And then you get to, broadly, you get to put a cursed sword into a game, and then everyone who buys the book has to deal with that. We are gonna we'll make sure it blends with heart and doesn't stick out too much. I'm really happy with like the needle we managed to thread with the cults, especially in Sin, in that they are like, it's someone's idea, but we got to have them as something which sits alongside the rest of the game, and we're going to do something similar with this. So if you want to work with us, probably me and Chris, doing something weird and grody. If you have if you've got a loose 400 quid knocking around, why not give it to us?
I could go to worse places.
In fact, 2 of them would fund.
Oh my god!
I haven't looked at 24 grand now. Thank you, everyone.
Away.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, yeah. We're just coming up on an hour now since we actually officially went live, and we've almost funded, which is pretty wild. I haven't looked over in a hot second. So if anyone hasn't backed yet, you can back now and make my day, because if we fund before the stream ends, I get to go.
I'm staying on stream until we fund. We've got like,
wow. No, don't say that, because then they're gonna like stretch out their funding until you leave. It's gonna be the end of Dagger all over again.
It's gonna
where we had to
drip.
Yeah, we had to keep playing until people stopped backing, and then people realized they could game the system very quickly by just synchronizing when they were backing.
Yeah, there was a what's the word? A back channel communications on our Discord to make me dance for as long as possible. Broadly.
Yes.
Fair respect. That's why I was dancing.
Yeah, I mean, it was good fun. It was good fun.
Yeah, you had wallbacon.
I did. That was my primary contribution to that stream, was wallbacon.
You mummed beautifully.
I did, and then died.
Yes.
Purposefully.
Yes.
Yeah, purposely.
Yeah.
It's heart, baby. We're funded. Holy shit.
Great.
We're done.
Thank you. Beautiful work.
Go on then. Have 70. Yeah, let's go. That's it. Great. Beautiful. Like under an hour. An hour to fund.
We should ask for a specific emoji in chat. That's what they do on streams, isn't it?
Is that what they do on stream? I don't know.
We don't have any emojis. Shit.
Yeah, I'm a writer. I've had like emojis bashed
everyone
out my
post
head.
your favorite emoji.
Yeah, post 5 of your favorite emoji, guys.
No problematic emojis.
Yeah. Okay, the dancing snom is pretty fucking good, I have to say.
Snow Pokemon.
Rainbow snom. Yeah, that's one of the newer Pokemons. When I was at PureCon, here's a little anecdote about snom. A couple months ago, big Polish convention, fantastic time. Every time I go to a convention, I have to pay the Pokemon tax to my partner, which means I have to buy her a Pokemon plushie.
Dratini's visible in shot at the moment, I think.
Dratini is visible.
Just see
in
it in the L above the L of Elaine.
Yeah, although this one, funnily enough, I got at UK Games Expo and then fell in love with it, so it just became mine. Okay. But Snom, I saw one. I took a big picture of a Pokemon stall. There was a Snom there. I couldn't get a signal, so I had to wait like half an hour, send it to my partner, and she came back screaming, the Snom, I need the Snom. Went back to the stall, sold. Couldn't find a Snom anywhere. No. I spent every spare moment at PureCon running around every Pokemon stall trying to get one, so now it's like my holy grail of plushies I have to find for her.
You went well.
Anyway, none of that had anything to do with heart. But we're funded. Let's rock and or roll. Is there anything else we want to go through? So
no, we're good. Fuck them. We're funded. Let's go.
Wow. Let's see. Did we have any questions in chat? We've got one. Here. Have you ever thought about the fate of those who return from heart to spire?
You do not.
When anomalies become normal. And how it is weird. You just don't ever come back from the heart. Nobody's ever made it back.
There's one get out clause, which is the Incarnadine. And rules is written. You explode upon death, surrounded by your loved ones. So all your loved ones take D10 explosive damage. Are there any questions?
What about Vermisian Shadow Ops?
We did. Yeah, it's true actually. Yeah, so we do have for Missing Black Ops. There are bits about going back to heart. I think that So I mean, Chris and I wrote Heart when we're in a very bad place mentally, and so Heart is a game about dying over and over and over, and writing Heart is a game about imagining all the ways I could die. And I'd like to confirm that I'm happier now. I'm doing much better. And Hollows is a game where it's actually quite hard to die properly. But I think that the idea of the heart and what it is, much like Elaine said earlier, like it's evolved over, like the heart in Ways and Means is different from the heart in Dagger, which is different from the heart in Core, which is different from the heart in Spire. And I don't want this to stay still, primarily because it gives us more room to write and gives us more room to come up with stuff. But I also like the idea of a culture forming and being able to, like, what I like writing about is culture, and especially through the lens of like what you can give a player character which reflects that, or what's important to them. And so there might be something about playing someone who's come back from the heart, and I could definitely see a Spire extra advance, which is like you came back and no one and people think you're weird now, and you are weird, but there's something else going on. I don't know. Like I like how inhuman and how strange it is down there, and how you're all like you're reduced to this bundle of want by the time you get this battered, beaten thing who reaches your eventual goal, and that's the delight that's the delightful arc. And I think I'm not especially interested in having people come back from the heart of darkness in that way. I think you should die down there. But I think there's definitely something fun about it.
Yeah, it's interesting because again, everyone's version of heart is different. My own like narratives I'm obsessed with are about like annihilation and self-rebuild and whatnot. So I could imagine in my head a world in which somebody goes down there and emerges, but they're not the same. They are a different person, literally, you know. But yeah, I mean that's role-playing games, baby. If you want it at your table, let's go.
All
you don't
yours,
need us
mate.
to give you a thumbs up.
Someone wrote in. This is the brief annex. I think we're ready to wrap up now. I think we need to. Like, the people have already seen the thing. Someone wrote in to the Rowan Rick and Deckard email inbox, and they said that what's the name of that French politician, Macron? The right wing one. It was a team of French people, and they were playing Eat the Reich, and they were like, "We know that it says you can't harm children, but at the time of Eat the Reich, this guy was 15. Is it all right if we harm him in our game?" But buddy, your table, your rules. That's fine. You do what you need to do.
Yeah. You do.
Oh,
you
yes.
need for catharsis.
Sorry. Not Macron, Le Pen. My apologies. Thank you, Chant, for knowing a single thing about the world.
Good. Thank you, Chant, for doing the moderating today. We've needed much. Admittedly, moderate us. We're the actual fucking problems. But yeah, I think that's everything. The one other question: how hard was it to convince the printer to do half the book upside down? Not hard at all. You just give them the files; they don't care. They don't have to go in and rip the books out midway through and flip them upside down. You know? Just print files.
Getting their arms caught in the press. Nah, that's like we've asked for much worse.
For sure.
And we'll carry on asking for much worse in terms of like making foil go in the right place.
Yeah. All right. AKA cool. Everywhere. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us on the launch stream. We're fully funded already. Rock and roll. I get to go add weird graphics to the crowdfunding campaign saying, "Yay, everyone, we funded already. Let's go." And I will leave you once more with the promo video, and then we will end our stream. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for backing. And hopefully this will just be the beginning, and we'll unlock some of them schmexy stretch goals as we go. More of everything. All right. Say goodbye. Say goodbye, Grant.
Bye.
We don't have an official sign-off. It's terrible. We did an official sign-off. Okay, just wave and stare dead-eyed into the camera.